My name is Melanie, and I have one child who already has gone through IM, and then I also decided to send a second child through IM as well. And her name's Alora. She went through at the age of 7. And the reason that I decided to send Alora through IM was because I saw her falling into some of the same patterns as what my first child that I had sent through IM. And so she was having difficulty in reading, difficulty in spelling, and was having some speech articulation issues. She was having a very difficult time with her and so the TH, the hard T, the soft T's, and the R's. And so I thought, well, it works so great with the first one, why not send the second one through? So that's exactly what we did. At this point in time, she does not need any speech therapy. She can say all of her R's, all of her TH's, and is doing a wonderful job with her speech post-IM.
And when did she go through IM?
She went through IM at the age of 7. It was between her first grade and her second grade year at school. Another reason that we decided to send her was because she was very easily frustrated, and rather than becoming angry, she would cry. And so her feelings would be so hurt by things that would not be a big deal to other people. As she was going through IM, I started noticing some differences and some changes, and she was becoming much more assertive. And so rather than being oversensitive, she was becoming assertive, and she was able to say what we had been teaching her since birth practically was, I do not like it when you, and then she would actually tell the person what it was that they were doing that was upsetting her. Her reading has improved drastically. She wasn't reading well. She wasn't getting her sight words down, and she was just having a very difficult time with going through Title I and working very diligently with the teacher to try to get her where she needed to be. It wasn't working real well. Now, post-IM, she knows her sight words. She has a little difficulty with her spelling at times, but most of it are the bigger words that she's having difficulty with. She's able to read. I mean, she loves to read now. She'll go up to her room and she will read for an hour at a time. She hated to read last year. Pre-IM, she did not like reading at all. She didn't want to sit down with her book. She didn't want to read. They do bookets, and they also do McDonald's certificates. She didn't hardly get them because I'm not going to force her to read. And I still read to her, but she didn't want to read herself. Now she loves it. Good. And she is gaining more friends. Like before, she would be a little bit shy about playing with people, and so she wouldn't just go over and say, can I play? Well, now she'll actually go over to somebody and she'll say, can I play? And if they tell her no, her feelings might be hurt a little bit, but she's not going to break down and cry about it. She's going to go find somebody else to play with.
Students that have not gone through the autonomy stage will actually start going through that stage, and it almost comes across a little bit as aggressive as right after IM, when they find their own voice. Did you experience that at all, or not really?
She wasn't really aggressive.
Okay.
She was just more assertive. And actually, being assertive, it was a good thing for her. She used her words more, maybe a bit bossy at times, but not to a point where she was aggressive at all.
Okay.
It was a good thing for her.
It was a good thing for her.
Yeah, I would not want to go back to pre-IM for Laura. I think that post-IM is wonderful. I think it's been very beneficial for her. I think she's much more coordinated. I think she feels better about herself because her confidence is up. She's able to deal and associate with people in a very nice and polite manner, and she's not shying away from everybody either. I think that her organization is much better. She has to share a room with her younger sister, and so her younger sister doesn't keep things as nice as Alora would like it, and so she'll actually even go in and pick up her stuff and put her stuff away also so that her room can stay cleaner, because she likes it when it's nice and clean and organized now, which before she didn't even care. I mean, things could go on the floor, they could go in the hall. Now everything sort of has its own nice, neat little spot.
She's only 8.
And she is only 8 years old. She just turned 8 years old.
Okay.
Less than a week ago. that somebody should consider IM if their child is having difficulty in school with reading, math, spelling, tracking. If your children are having any difficulty in tracking at all, IM is fantastic for that. If your child has poor organizational skills, if they're easily frustrated, if they are hyperactive, I think IM is wonderful for all of those things. And let's see, what else? I think also for coordination. If you have a child who just seems kind of clumsy or isn't able to cross their midline well, they flail, I guess those are some things too for IM that would be good. My children did all of those things. And if you're noticing that they're having any type of behavior issues, you may not think of IM initially for behavior issues, but it has helped my children tremendously. That is not something I was thinking would be helpful for any of that, but it turned out to be very helpful as far as social and behavioral aspects of it, as well as cognition.
Actually, most people go through IM for focus or for reading, and what they love about it is the behavior and the...
well, and it does increase focus. IM definitely increases focus tremendously.
Yeah. So, but you never mentioned it, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. Because I didn't think about that, you know, because I was looking, when I got into this, I was looking to help my children academically rather than socially or behaviorally, or to help their focus. But it helped in all areas. It isn't something that's going to just work on one part of the person, but it is going to help the whole child. So it's a very whole child and holistic approach to things. It's fantastic. I love IM.